Colombo 1-1 event. It's an artistic show of 40 artists who've come together to do a collaborative show, and it's supposed to be spectacular, so let's go check it out. Swim Week Colombo with Ajay, founder and managing director of Colombo Fashion Week. So nice to see you too.
Nice to see you too.
Ajay, this event is really special. I don't think this has happened before in terms of getting all the artists together. It's truly spectacular. What was your thinking behind it?
Well, we wanted all the industries to come together, the art industry, the fashion, food and music to come together and come together in a special way where we can showcase Colombo as a vibrant and a creative city. And we get people back, we get the buzz back. And I really want to position Colombo as a city where people around the world come to that city at these times like this and say, oh wow, you know, art comes together, music comes together, and it's on a street where food is there, you know. So it's a very special week, and it's also very momentous because, you know, we've come out of a difficult time, and now we're showing that, hey, there's peace of mind, right? We're progressing well, and this event where 40 artists have come to is the biggest number, right? And for the first time, you know, they have the event is bigger than their names, right? Because that's what they come together for. So that's very special.
I think having a walk around through and seeing all the works, I love the diversity in terms of thought, the artists, everything. And I have to say, as an artist myself, that the quality of work have been really spectacular. How did you get that to work out? Because it doesn't always pull off like that.
You know, being a creative person, I know how to ignite that, right? If you ignite the emotions, you'll have the most powerful work comes out, you know? So creativity and emotions are all connected. So if there's purity in your heart to create something, it comes out very strongly. So that's what happened. So the trigger point was they were doing it for the country, they were doing it for a cause, and they were doing it as one, right? So there's a lot of power in oneness. That's why we came out with the theme 1-1, you know? So that was the key reason, key trigger point for them to come out with work as spectacular as this.
Truly amazing. I've loved every bit of it. Have a really lovely evening. Thank you for talking to us. Have a great day.
Enjoy.
Hi, I'm here at Swim Week Colombo with Anoma, who needs no introduction, the absolute legend of Anoma. And this is her amazing work behind us. Anoma, this is titled The Golden Rule. I know you've spoken a lot tonight to everyone about it. Can you tell me about how you got there, the thought process behind the Golden Rule?
Okay. What I was looking at is the fact that we are destructive and actually attacking each other and hurting each other. And I was obviously we are all very disturbed about that. The rise of unconscionable bigotry, division, and hatred, I mean, growing so strong throughout the world since 2016. So that has been concerning me a lot. And I was looking at various ideas that related to all religions and all different cultures. And in my research, I found the Golden Rule, which was created the idea is from Confucius, so it's very old, and it's very simple. It's a reciprocity idea that we don't do to somebody else what we don't want done to us.
So I suppose it's a bit like karma in our world.
Yeah. But I mean, Buddhism, Christianity, all the religions have used it and talk of it, and many cultures work on this issue, if you like. But we don't seem to be really acting it.
I think that's amazing. We need more of that love and more of that thinking in this world. I hope you have a really lovely evening. Thank you so much for your time with me. Thank you. Right now I'm here with Chamila Gamage, the artist behind this amazing sculpture. So I'm going to ask him a few questions. First of all, welcome Chamila. Can you tell me a little bit about the materials you have used and the concept behind this sculpture?
I'm a visual artist and I work different type of platform. This is sculpture I make steel, iron, chain and copper I used. I like work different type of materials. I think my material boundaries very big. Therefore, I always try to experiment new materials for my art. But all materials use logically. I have logic why I use this material for my art. According to this sculpture, I use steel iron chain. Steel iron chain mean something about freedom, about its feeling is very different. And I use a lot of flowers. This is a water lily. This is a national flower in our Sri Lanka national flower. I symbolically use in my heart bloom national flower. According to my sculpture, I try to speak. I try to understand what is nationalism in Sri Lanka.
Hi, I'm here with Shania at Swim Week Colombo. She has created this absolutely stunning masterpiece with this amazing process that I don't think I've seen anywhere else. Can you explain a little bit about your rust thing?
Yeah, so I use rust stains, and this particular piece, it's rust stains on gold acrylic paint. I've also used gold leaf, both genuine gold leaf and also copper-based gold leaf, which also has the power to oxidize and become the verdigris effect, which is like green over time. And that's a commentary on power structures and a political hierarchy.
Hi, we are at Swim Week Colombo with young Sri Lankan artist Shiva and his amazing, beautiful painting. Shiva, can you tell me a little bit about your journey into art and the process behind this?
Yes, of course. So basically, I'm coming through the explain of this work directly. I'm based on the Jaffna-based artist. So this base Jaffna means there's a two experience I had. One is the personal experience. The other one is the Sri Lankan war. Those two experience, I had a horrible understanding of my life. So I cannot say in a verbal language, which brought me making a visual form. Then this visual form became a healing process in my life.
Sorry. So what you're saying is that the language, verbal language is not enough and that it has brought you to this artistic point. And what has been the healing process for you with that?
Oh, this is kind of unexplained things. Even though like when I'm doing this process of art making, I forget myself first. And then I involve this direct experience. So I feel that the emptiness of my mind, and then end of the time it's become a painting. So I feel that later it's kind of controlling in my mind. So I call it healing myself.
That's really, really beautiful. I hope you have a wonderful night tonight and I hope to see more of your work in the future. Thank you so much for your time with us. Hi, I'm at Swim Week Colombo with Shamika, the curator of the 1-1 art show that we're at. Shamika, can you tell me a little bit about the thinking behind this show and what's made it this much of a success?
Well, basically the whole thought process of conceptualizing this came by, the conversation that we had with Ajay and also with the Colombo Visual Arts faculty of thinking about bringing all 40 or 50 artists together. At the moment we have 40 artists and telling everybody's story in almost like one line. So the oneness of everybody coming together, and if you can see around, everything connects up with this one linear line that runs through. And everybody individually telling their own story in the different medias that they are familiar in working with. and from different ethnic groups, different religions, different parts of the country. We have artists from Jaffna, Batticaloa, let it be Christian, let it be Muslim, let it be Hindu, let it be Sinhalese, Tamil. They're all in one space and all one and working as one and saying one story. And that's, I think, where the importance of when I actually conceptualized it in terms of this one line being very important. And everything about the event, even the lighting, everything is thought about working around this idea about the line and connecting Colombo in totality. And I think everybody volunteered, and all these artists have come together not knowing each other but being next to each other. Senior artists, young artists, students who have come from various parts of the country have contributed towards this, and I think that's a very important thing. It's not about the event, but also it's about all these artists coming together and supporting the cause of Colombo and One Colombo.
I think it's really beautiful to see how, as you said, there's one line and each artist has had a piece of it on their own, and each piece has been spectacularly beautiful and of a really high standard here tonight. But as one, this is really special because that visual really adds something, and I guess it won't be like this again. All these pieces will go to their homes, but it's really, really magical.
And the whole point was that everybody had their own story to say, and every single person was connected up together as the oneness. And it's one canvas. Imagine 40 artists working on one canvas, but they're broken up into 40 parts, but individually telling their own story and collectively telling the same story together. And that's the whole point of that.
Absolutely beautiful. I hope we get to see more shows like this in Colombo. Thank you so much for your time, and have a good evening. Right now I'm with Lakisha Fernando and her amazing 2 pieces of art. Lakisha, this is really, really beautiful. I really love this. You're from a psychological background. I believe you're a counselor. Can you tell me how that leads into your artwork?
Actually, this is one of my new art series. I'm also really love with this. Actually, because of my counseling practice, I think it's connected to my art. So my perspective also a little bit changed, but always with technically I'm using different materials. It's like mixed media. And the drawing pattern also recently I changed with a little bit scientific things, but it's like cells. So it's actually neurons, how it works, and it's blend with thoughts. So I'm trying to highlight different thoughts, because the third thought, otherwise concepts, what we create, it's try to controlling us. But we creating our concept, finally it's controlling us. Finally it's create all the matters, social matters and everything. So it's difficult to explain actually.
No, I think you're doing a really, really fantastic job. So it's about how we are creating our thoughts, and then our thoughts and our feelings are creating the restrictions we live in society. I think I read a little bit about it in the booklet today.
Actually, I studied many CTC scan images, how our different thoughts working with our neuronal connections and chemicals. So there are so many vibrant colors like green and blue and red. So this time I took that vivid colors directly. So, and also I'm using gold because our thoughts are gold. People also, we have lot of good things, it's like gold. But because of the connecting all the thoughts, it's changing and it's creating different things. It's a small play about thoughts.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful idea. It's beautiful to look at. So really, really well done. I hope that you've had a lovely evening here tonight showing your work, and all the success for the future. Right now I'm with Danushka, who has created this really intriguing piece with postcard-like images. Danushka, can you tell me a little bit about your thinking behind it and the dialogue that you'd like to start from it?
Yeah, so you can see just postcards from the past. I mean, I call it like, postcards from Ceylon. So And basically in my art practice I'm talking about the privacy. So when you see a postcard, it's a very nice thing, it's about something about the history, but I think there's something more than that. So I'm not going to say all that, but I'm questioning that kind of kind of elements of the history of the past. Yeah.
It's definitely, I think, one of the most intriguing pieces here tonight. I was immediately drawn to it. The juxtaposition between the old photography and the old images, and then this washing line that you have going across. How did you come up with that idea?
It's a kind of, now even, okay, if you are talking about those images, like, you can see some, kind of images, if you are talking about that Victorian kind of culture, also they gave us the cloth and the culture and all the thing. And also now we are losing that, our privacy. When we are losing our privacy, what we are losing? We are losing our kind of, okay, I think you know what I'm talking. Like if we are talking about surveillance and CCTVs and whatever online and kind of that kind of videos, and we are just talking about something losing. And also those dresses are like something given us to, like kind of that kind, because we used to have more free culture. But I'm not going to kind of judge anything. But it's a kind of a tragedy. It's a kind of a, like, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just juxtaposing like a kind of to those questions and those histories, and so even I don't have the answer.
That's definitely a lot to think about, and I think it's very relevant for today's age. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and answering all my questions. Thanks. Have a lovely evening. Right now I'm with Lalit, who has painted this amazing creation. Lalit, what can you tell me about this? I know there's some pastel thing with your students that you had written about in your background to the painting. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
A lot of kids were affected by the recent attacks. With most of the kids, I work with pastels. So pastel is not the medium of choice of a great artist. So I'm using it on a canvas. My idea here is basically to bring in this experience with children and also some of my university students into one. So my question is, how do we win? Now we are coming out of a given set of frame that we were in. We want to break that frame and come out into a new era, new future. So the question is, the moment we come out of the frame, we get stuck in another square, which is another set of restrictions. So I am asking, what are the new set of restrictions that we have today in this aftermath of the Easter attacks? We have to think new. We are having a backdrop of huge violence. In that backdrop, how can we think vibrantly? How can we have a smile when there has been so much tragedies in our history? So that is the question I'm asking. So this is a beauty that I want to generate in the hearts and souls of these people who have been affected by the situation, more than anything else, in myself too.
That's truly amazing, and I think it's really, really important that we find that beauty within ourselves. You're absolutely right about the frame into a frame thing. I think that's something for everyone to think about. Where do you see this show going for the future?
I want this money to go into the best use. So I have faith that this will be for the betterment of so many people in this country. I exactly don't know what the future is. But what I know is that this moment, which is so vibrant, which is so engaging, which will lead into a good discourse. So the question I have is, the dilemma that we have is, how can we have these smiles in a moment of, not non-ideal situations? So what I want to generate is this feeling of togetherness, winning by coming into one.
That's really, really beautiful, and I hope that people take that message away from tonight. Thank you so much for talking to us. Have a really, really lovely evening. Thank you. I'm with Patrick from New York, looking rather dapper, if I say so.
Thank you. I had to dress up for this occasion.
No, it's really nice. What do you think about this show? And I know you've been involved in the background of this. What are your feelings? How do you feel like it's gone? Tell me about it.
It is unbelievable. The fact that 40 artists from all over the country have come together to raise funds for this incredible project is really, it's very moving. That you can feel this energy when you come in, that there's so much passion. It's uniting people, it's uniting culture around celebration. So I'm very, very impressed, and I just love it.
Can I ask, as an artist, I feel like tonight's show has been of a really high standard. From an outside perspective, how far do you agree with that?
About the standards of the art? Absolutely, 100%. I think the standard is on par with the international market. I see actually a friend of mine that I brought here walked in and bought this piece right behind me. So yeah, I think it's incredible. Yeah.
Really good to see you in Colombo, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the week and all the other events we have to offer.
And I heard you're going to be at the sustainability event as well.
I will be there, yes.
So
I'll see you.
This is all about sustainability too, cultural sustainability. So yes.
Nice to see you. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for spending time with us. That was a 1-1 show, part of Swim Week Colombo. 40 artists exhibiting together in one place. I don't think it's happened like that before in Colombo. Truly spectacular, amazing standard of art. I don't know whether we'll ever see something like it again. I'm so lucky to have been here tonight.